Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel. Tap the notification bell. I'd appreciate it majorly. So, several people have seen this story of a missing woman in Austin and her 2-week, going on 3-week-old baby that have been missing since Thursday, December 12th was the last time they were seen. On that morning by her fiance, who's pictured right there, and who gave an interview to, Good Morning America, ABC's Good Morning America. My wife saw this morning on here. Here's the raw video of that interview. That I think portions of that were played on Good Morning America and one of their affiliates in. You know what? I don't even know where this is in Austin. What am I saying? Austin, Texas. And this dude's name is, oh, darn it, Carey. Shane Carey. They've been together for 10 years, apparently. And they just had a brand new daughter, but they also have a son who I think is 6 years old. And he's not missing, the 6-year-old son. And then he also has another child from a previous marriage. So he says that he went to, they got up like every other day on Thursday morning around 6:30ish, something like that. He gets up, goes through his normal routine. He goes through this interview, and he's given multiple interviews. Here he is talking with reporters out in front of, I guess, his house where she was last seen, or apartment. And I assume that's his father that he's speaking with there. I watched a little bit of that as well. I mean, this is like 16 minutes long, and it kind of goes through a variety of gyrations. I mean, it's just the raw video of his interview where the reporter is speaking to him through through a phone, I guess his own phone or the cameraman's phone, one of the two, asking him questions while he's being filmed by a cameraman and I think like a producer. So you have a reporter who's interviewing him and conducting the interview, but that's not on site and is asking questions through the phone. And they're managing the interview and the cameras, obviously on site with a cameraman there. I believe a producer as well, because you hear them. They change it up in terms of at one point he's sitting and he doesn't feel comfortable with that. So he stands, they pull back their shot. And at another point right during here, he gets uncomfortable and steps out of camera and says, this isn't going well. And he's not comfortable with this. And says, I've retold this so many times and stuff like that. It's difficult to characterize, and they actually have the comments turned off on here, and I've looked at another video of this where it's, sort of, I think the more edited version in the KVUE report, where they have the comments. That'll be linked in the description, and people are definitely, expressing opinions. My wife had an opinion, So, anyways, but according to him, he wakes up Thursday morning, goes to work, gets up, goes through his normal routine, kisses his wife goodbye and his children goodbye, and goes to work. His wife then goes to drop off the kids at school, drop off the son at school, the 6-year-old. The baby's only 3 weeks old, and she's basically on maternity leave or, and watching the baby. She just had it 2 weeks ago. And, but there's actual photo of her dropping her son off, and the son made it to school, and that's her. This is the last, known picture of her. I believe looks like an admissions, or somewhere at school where she's dropping him off. And I believe that's what that is. This is the last known photo of her. Attached is an updated photo of Heidi Broussard. I don't even know if I mentioned her name, from December 12th, 2019 at 7:50 a.m. at Cowan Elementary. The clothing pictured is what she's believed to have been wearing when she was last seen. Anyone with information about her and Margot is asked to call 911 immediately. They believe she made it back home because her car's at home. Everything of hers is home except for her cell phone. Her purse is at home. All of her belongings are home. The car seat's at home. The car's at home. And but obviously she's not, and the baby and her are missing, and her cell phone is missing and it's turned off. And he actually explains this in this interview that um, that when he gets home, I think around 1:50, 2 o'clock p.m. From work, she's not home, and he says her phone is turned off. He does say that at some point during this interview about when he's getting home, when he's talking about when he got home. So I'll play just a portion of that because it's obviously 16 minutes. You can watch it yourself. But so, like I was saying, he gets up, goes to work, kisses his wife goodbye, and then he says his wife calls him like she does every day. Most days is around 8 or so p.m. after she dropped her son off for school, and he says that she told him that she just bought 3 new books, to from the book fair at school, and that she was looking forward to reading them to their son, and those 3 books were at home, when he did eventually return home from work around 2 p.m. And that's, I think, the extent of their conversation. And at that point, that's around 8 o'clock in the morning, and that's normally the time he's getting into his truck to go to actually begin his actual workday. And I believe he's a mover. I mean, works for a moving company, if I caught that right in the interview. And that's the extent of what is known. He gets home at 2 o'clock. She's not there. The baby's not there. And he gets a call from school that nobody came, that somebody needs to come and pick up the baby.
They've been missing since Thursday morning, and our Bryce Newberry spoke to...
And so or not the baby, excuse me. I got thrown off because that started playing on its own. He needs to come to school to pick up his son, so he does. He goes to pick up his son, comes back home, and at that point, his fiance is still not there, the baby's not there, and he calls the police, and she's been missing ever since. So here's a little bit of that interview, and he cries, repeatedly throughout it, and he definitely is, he's crying, and he's very, very sad. So, but I think people are, as they do in all these cases, beginning to wonder. So.
And that's the last time I spoke to my son. Dude, I can't. This is weird.
I know.
So you're moving my dad. You're moving, like, I can't be professional. I'm not. This is, dude. Okay, I'm gonna call you back or something. I don't know what to do, man. You're making me nervous. I don't know, man. I just want to be natural, man. I just want to, like, this is not. I don't know.
Yeah. Try and look at the camera, whatever you want to look at, or just whatever.
I look down. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Do that.
You can tell me,
you can do. Just do it. No pressure. No nothing. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. That's just the way we got to do it.
I just want to get the word out there. I don't care how it looks.
Okay. You're about ready?
Okay.
Yeah, because it's louder now.
Okay.
Yeah, so my other question was, is there anything important of Heidi that's missing right now? Like, is it...
Feed the baby. She's only 3 weeks old. So, just find a way. You won't be in trouble. Just drop her off. She has a beautiful family. Drop her off anywhere. I don't care. Just make sure she's safe and okay, and the baby's okay. And then right away. I don't know what. I just want her home safe. It doesn't have to be here. Just drop her off somewhere safe. If it is somebody, just come home.
Okay, so like I said, that raw interview is it's very long. It's 16 minutes, and it goes through a variety of changes before I guess they eventually added it for Good Morning America and for their own broadcast, the local ABC affiliate. There's not a ton more known other than what I just told you. And apparently investigators are keeping it very close to the chest. They normally do, but you have a missing mother and a 2-week-old baby. She was born on November 26th. So, that's today's the 15th. So 2 weeks, 6 days. It's almost 3 weeks, and according to Heavy.com, which usually usually does compile the most information sometimes. At least sometimes it does. She worked for Cracker Barrel since 2015. She hasn't been back to work since she had the baby. That's all that's kind of reported about her. I think she's studying to be a veterinarian assistant or something like that right now. I think she's from Louisiana, and it mentions that something about her Facebook page, which I was unable to find. And that's really the extent of it, man. There's just not a ton more known about it just yet. And she and the baby were nowhere to be found when he says he came home about 2 p.m. This is Shane Carey, the man in the interview, the father of the baby, her fiance. And so he came home around 2 p.m. That's when the dad says he also got a call from school saying their son wasn't picked up after class. After picking up the boy himself, that the dad returned home and still found the mom and daughter missing and called police. And he says, if you see an awesome mom with a baby walking around or in a suspicious van or car or anything, please just somebody call. Carey told KEYE while stopping at a T-Mobile store on Friday in hopes, he said, of getting the mom's cell phone records. The father tearfully pleaded in an interview with news outlets for the mother to come home. So, I mean, I assume there are records of him showing up for work. There's going to be records of her cell phone, where it was last pinged. In this interview, like I said, he does state that it was turned off when he got home. I don't know if his son's in kindergarten, and so therefore it would be like half day, and that's why when he gets home at 2 o'clock, normally, I don't know when it's been a little while since my kids have been in elementary school, but if you're getting a call from school at 2 o'clock, that's normally what you would think. I'm just doing some assuming, while I'm just sitting here thinking. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all that's known. We're certain to hear more about this, and I'm sure they're looking desperately for this mother and a 2-3-week-old baby girl. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. See you in the next video. Later, man.